Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. So the organization has asked me yesterday to give you a brief overview about the status of standardization on a global level. So yesterday and today we have heard a lot about different technologies, AC, DC, slow, fast, ultra-fast charging, cable-based charging, inductive charging, and different types of communication and intelligence. This might have been a little bit confusing, so I would like to give you, as I said, a little overview. So first key message is the process of standardization, international standardization, is going very well. All stakeholders, car manufacturers, utilities, infrastructure providers agree that we need international standards in order to first reduce production costs and second, in order to accelerate the the success of electric vehicle on a worldwide level. Second key message is midterm. The focus will be on cable-based charging. So inductive charging technologies are still in development phase. And we will see a coexistence of AC-based and DC-based charging. So in the previous focus in the international standardization process was on AC technology. In Europe and China, we predominantly use the so-called Type 2 plug. We also name it Mannekes plug. In both one phase for slow charging and three-phase for fast charging. Three-phase charging allows a charging capacity of up to 44 kilowatts, and that allows a charging time of 20 minutes for 100 kilometers. In Japan and United States, AC charging is only used for slow one-phase charging, predominantly using the so-called Yasaki plug. However, on the AC side, we believe that there is a good chance to have an international standard, most likely the Type 2 plug, accepted mid of next year. On the DC side, the discussion is a little bit more open. So in Japan, we have, of course, the Shademo standard, which is also used by the Nissan and Leaf, for example, and the Mitsubishi. Chinese is currently defining a separate DC standard, and there's a new initiative, especially from the German car manufacturers, to combine the AC standard, the AC plug, together with DC function. So we believe that on the DC side, the process of international standardization will take another 3 to 5 years, and in this transition phase, which is very normal for such a breaking technology, the infrastructure operators and providers will have to support the usual regional standards. In addition, of course, the communication between the electric vehicles and the charging infrastructure is part of the standardization decision, as well as the authentication of the end customer at the charging point. So let me finish. One thing is very important. All stakeholders are committed to define an international standards on AC and DC side as soon as possible. Thank you.
Stuck to script and stuck to time. Thank you very much. Could I now invite the Mayor of Malmö? Malmö, as many of you know, is an exemplar in terms of sustainability. We're very pleased to have the Mayor of Malmö with us today. Would you like to come and speak here, or would you just like to speak from the floor? Come and speak here. All right,
thank you. We are discussing now the electrical vehicles and bikes, but in fact we are really discussing the transportation problems. And that is both from emission point of view and from congestion point of view. And the solutions, of course, you must see how you can combine these two ways. Of course, we have heard about the electric transportation systems like fast trains and commuting trains for the long-distance transportation. But for the short-distance transportation, of course, the very best way is walking. And the second best way is biking. 10 years ago, my father bought an electric bike. He used that because he was biking in the snow, you know, and go to the shopping mall. It was 10 kilometers away, and he was 92 years of age at that time, and he thought it was a little heavy to go biking. He passed off 2 years ago, 100 of age, but still, for these 8 years, he used that bike. That made him much more healthier. The environment much more healthier, of course. So using the bike or walking with sticks, that's the best way of creating livable cities. Remember, our cities are they are built up in a narrow way, and it's very difficult to put in all these cars in there. So, as I said from Houston, use carpools as much as possible. In Malmö, for instance, to get the permission to build a house, then we enhance the builders. If you create a carpool, and you must keep to that carpool for 10 years, then we lower the amount of parking plots that you are otherwise obliged to build there. And that's quite expensive to build the parking plots below the houses, you know. In that way, we enhance people not to use so much of the private cars within our cities. I believe that we must always think about the agenda for the year or two, for this century. And that is about not only ecological sustainability, it's economic sustainability, but also social sustainability. That means keep people as healthy as possible. So using all these measures, using all that to get the traffic within our towns to be much more environmentally friendly, then we will see the birds singing in the morning, we will see that people are coming much more healthier to the job and like that. I think don't forget that mission when we are getting so technique to see how we are solving one problem after its other. Because from my point of view, what is the most difficult thing? That is that we are talking so much in silos. You know, it starts on the governmental level where we should talk in a holistic way. But after that, then we have every department working down to the local level and putting the regulations just in that silo. On the local level, we as mayors try to destroy these silos to see how can we work in a more holistic way on the local level. And that is a challenge where we as mayors try to see this in that more holistic way. If we manage to do that, of course, we need the citizen to be behind us. And that is to communicate all the time with the citizen. As a politician, you know, we are always afraid that we're saying we have all the citizen behind us in these questions. Far, far behind us. So we try also to get them a little closer to what we are talking about today. And I'm sure what we heard about the electrical vehicles, about the electrical bikes, about the rapid bus transit, all these are very, very nice solutions, but put them into a holistic solution. Thank you.
It won't surprise you to hear the mayor has just been re-elected for another 5-year term. We have two more people, I believe, who would like to comment, and if they'd like to come up or do it from where they're sitting, by all means do. Chuck Shollock, would you like to come up here, or are you happy to talk?
I can speak from here.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chuck.
Yeah. Yes, in the interest of time, just one quick point I'd like to make. I've been struck by all of the cities talking about the infrastructure installation going on and everything that's happening there. So just to pass along something that's underway in California, there's a group called the Plug-in Electric Vehicle Collaborative Council, and this is one of these public-private partnerships. It's got the State Energy Agency, the State Environmental Agency, vehicle manufacturers, infrastructure providers, environmental groups, some local government. So there's a broad range of stakeholders involved in this process, and what they're putting together is a strategic plan for infrastructure rollout in California. So a lot of the issues being addressed are the same kinds of things that are being wrestled with by many of the people in the room here. There's a initial report that's due out in December, I believe December 14th. They have a website. Again, it's called the Plug-in Electric Vehicle Collaborative. So there's work underway there that I think that would be of interest. And I'm going to take back things that I've heard here to plug into that process. In particular, this 24-hour permitting, I was blown away by that. A senior official, or actually one of the members of our Public Utilities Commission, which is the state energy regulatory agency, his wife had one of these loaner, it was the Mini E electric vehicle, and so they were excited to get this. And it took 30 days to get the infrastructure installed, and so this 24 hours is of great interest. That's quite an achievement. But anyway, if you're following these issues, I'd urge you to take a look at the website for this collaborative, and there will be a lot of activity there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And then there's Professor Wang from Shanghai. Is Professor Wang here? Not. Oh, please. Would you like to come up?
Okay.
Thank you.
OK 我是来自上海同济大学王哲。那么同时呢，我也参与这个市政府的电动汽车发展规划和这个政策的制定。那么我呢，下边呢谈一下我的一些观点。那么电动汽车这个推行呢，推广和使用呢是一个很艰难的一个过程。那么这里边呢有下面几点，第一个呢就是说我们首先要有一个满足用户需求的一个产品。那么大家知道呢，电动汽车的关键的这个电池这个零部件，那么它的循环寿命还有它的成本呢还要进一步的这个研发。第二个呢，政府要制定相关的这种支持和鼓励政策。比如说在电池的采购，是吧？电动汽车采购和电动车运行方面，比如说像中国政府实证车辆计划，还有私人购车补贴计划，就是针对这个电动汽车的这个购买和使用的一个支持和鼓励的计划。第三个呢，就是说要推广电动汽车呢，那么基础设施呢要超前布局，那么要使消费者这个使用这个方便。那么在这方面呢，比如说上海市政府对这个基础设施的这个建设呢，也给予这种财政补贴，那么鼓励呢这个电力公司这个还有其他的一些私营资本来进入这个基础设施的这个建设这个环境中来。那么第四个呢，就是说要建立一个全方位的一个服务体系，要使消费者呢在使用过程中要解除他们的后顾之忧，比如说呢，在使用过程中出现了一些故障或者一些问题，那么要及时的要在1个小时或者2个小时之内要得到这种解决。同时呢，这个在销售这个电动汽车厂家呢，要有这个回收电池的这个义务。这样的话呢，使整个电动汽车的这个发展呢，才能得到可持续的这种发展。谢谢大家。
Thank you, Professor Wang. I'm conscious I stand between you and your lunch. Incidentally, lunch is served on this floor at the Congress restaurant. But is there anybody who would like to make a comment who hasn't had a chance to speak? I think we can run on for another 5 or 10 minutes if people would like, or if you prefer lunch, we'll move on to lunch. Entirely up to you. Does anybody would like to make a comment on this morning, on what they've heard? Any other ideas they have? All right, well, it seems not. So on that note, could I bring the proceedings to an end? And could you join me in thanking all the speakers, all the presenters? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.